In 1375, a map appeared in Europe that changed their view of the world forever. In the heart of Africa, cartographers drew a king sitting on a throne, holding an orb of pure gold. It wasn't just a fantasy drawing, it was the documentation of the richest man to ever walk the earth. Forget Elon Musk. Forget the Rothschilds. We are talking about a fortune estimated at $400 billion in today's money. A wealth so vast it wasn't measured in numbers, but by its impact on entire continents. While Europe suffered from the Black Death and Crusades, the Mali Empire in the 14th century was living its golden age. A vast territory stretching from the Atlantic Ocean to the Niger River, controlling the two most vital commodities of the ancient world, salt and gold. But the story didn't begin with Musa. It began with a paralyzed boy named Sundiata Keita. Legend says he couldn't walk until the age of 7, yet he rose to build an empire that became the world's gold reserve. This is the real Lion King behind the legends. In 1312, something strange happened. King Abu Bakr II gave up his throne to explore the edge of the Atlantic Ocean. He sailed away with 2,000 ships and never returned. That was the moment Musa Keita rose to the throne, beginning an era that would make the world tremble from his generosity.
In 1324, Mansa Musa decided to perform the pilgrimage to Mecca. But he did not travel like an ordinary pilgrim. He decided to take the wealth of Mali with him. A journey stretching more than 4,000 miles across the harshest deserts on Earth. Imagine the scene. 60,000 men dressed in the finest Persian silk, 12,000 servants, each carrying a staff of pure gold, and 80 camels, each loaded with 130 kilograms of gold bullion. This was not just a caravan, it was a moving city of gold. When the caravan arrived in Cairo, people were stunned. Egyptians had never witnessed generosity on such a scale. Musa distributed gold to the poor, bought goods at astonishing prices, and it is said that he built a new mosque every Friday in every city he passed through. Then came a moment of historical tension. Sultan al-Nasir Muhammad ibn Kalaun asked him to kiss the ground before him, as royal protocol required. Musa refused with pride, saying, "I bow only to Allah." Yet the meeting eventually ended in a legendary friendship that would influence history. But his generosity came with a heavy cost. He flooded the Egyptian market with so much gold that its value collapsed. Mansa Musa triggered an economic inflation that lasted more than 12 years. It was one of the rare moments in history when a single man influenced the value of gold across an entire region simply by passing through. Mansa Musa did not return from Mecca with gold. He returned with something far more valuable: minds. He brought back engineers, scholars, and poets, including the famous Andalusian architect Abu Ishaq al-Sahili. Under his command, the city of Timbuktu was transformed from a simple caravan stop into a beacon of knowledge. The great Djinguereber Mosque was constructed, and it still stands today as a testament to the brilliance of West African architecture. It was also here that the University of Sankore flourished. At a time when much of Europe struggled with widespread illiteracy, Timbuktu was home to more than 25,000 students.
Its libraries held hundreds of thousands of manuscripts covering medicine, astronomy, and law. During Mansa Musa's reign, it was said that the most valuable commodity in Mali was not gold or sought, but books. Merchants often made greater profits trading manuscripts than any other goods. Musa had turned knowledge into a thriving economy. For 25 years, the Mali Empire experienced an era of remarkable peace and prosperity. Historians recorded that a traveler could cross the entire empire carrying gold without fear of thieves or bandits. In 1337, Mansa Musa passed away, leaving behind an empire that had been the most powerful of its time. But greatness never lasts forever. Musa left the throne to his sons, yet none of them possessed the wisdom and vision that had made Mali the beating heart of the world. Over time, internal conflicts began to tear the empire apart. By the 15th century, foreign powers had turned their attention toward this immense reserve of gold. Repeated invasions and internal rebellions transformed cities of knowledge into battlefields, and Timbuktu slowly began to lose the brilliance that once illuminated the desert. And so the question remains, where did Mansa Musa's gold go? Was it buried with him in an unknown tomb? Or was it lost in the wars that followed the empire's decline? The truth is that his wealth was never just piles of gold. It was an entire economic system. When the empire collapsed, that system collapsed with it, leaving behind legends that historians and explorers still try to uncover today. Yet Mansa Musa's true legacy was never the gold he spent, but the knowledge he planted. The manuscripts that survived wars, fire, and time became the real treasure. They proved that Africa was never merely a land of deserts, but a powerful center of civilization that helped shape human history. Mansa Musa, the man who made gold cheap and knowledge priceless. His fortune may have faded with the centuries, but his name remains carved into history as the wealthiest and most generous king the world has ever known. So, did you really think you understood the meaning of wealth? Think again.